Okay, Bill, this is my interpretation of your circumstances. Let's start right here. I interpret that you want to take a 2.5 inch diameter shaft and put a spear or a ball on it right there. All right? All right. Let me. I'm telling you, I can do that in my lathe. It's a small lathe. It's a Monarch 10 double E. You see it there? All right? And I'm using a 4 inch rotary table. Your circumstances will probably allow a bigger rotary table because you'll have a bigger lathe and a lot more height. What I'm saying here is, in my lathe, the rotary table must fit under the 2.5 inch shaft. All right? That's all I'm saying. That's a key point. Now, let me do a little math here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hang on. All right, let me show you the way I got it laid out or how I interpreted it. Obviously, you want to put a spear on here, a ball, dead center of that 2.5 inch diameter shaft. Let me give you a few dimensions. All right? I'm going to, right there, see that radius? 1 inch 250. All right? Dead center. How am I going to get this table to cut that spear dead center? That's what this is all about. All right? Let me first, before I go any further, show you what I got here. Well, let's do this. You see this? That's a split pin, dead center of the rotary table. You see it? I'm showing that split pin right here. You see it? This here is the split side. That's the open side, and I got an X in the middle. Let me give you the radius that. All right. This is getting confusing. I'm going to show you from the center of that table to the edge of that cutter, and I'll explain the cutter in a minute. See it? That's 1 inch 250. The edge of that cutter is exactly 1 inch 250 from the center of that table. Here's what the cutter looks like. I'm going out of sequence here. I had planned to turn up something, right? Out of drill rod, there's three choices: O1 oil hardening, W1 water hardening, A2 air hardening. All can be machined up in a lathe, right? And heat treated with a torch, all right? Here's the shape. You see it here? That's the cutting edge. You can see I got clearance all the way down, a fairly wide stance at the bottom. Here's the T-slot in the rotary table. You can see that I got a diameter turned here to fit that T-slot exactly. And I got a long, I got a T-nut and all that to pull it down. You see it? So when I move this along that T-slot, it moves in a straight line. All right? Just trying to make that point. I hope I make sense here. So what I'm showing you here is that tool, and it can be moved, right? I'm going to show you how to establish that length in a minute. I'm showing you the same tool turned at 90 degrees, all right? From there, same thing. It's the same tool, I just turned it 90 degrees. All right? Now I'm going to show. Let me get these dimensions off of there. All right? I'm going to show you how to position this here, to that shaft. This edge here, or this X, see that X and that X? That's the pivot point, key to everything. You gotta put this pivot point in that location. You gotta locate that table relative to this shaft, all right? Let me do this. All right. Now I'm gonna do a little different way. Let me do this. This is the edge of the shaft that's been faced off, right? This is the center of the table. See it? Three 3 inches 750. I'm going to move that 3 inches 750 to show you how to position it. I'm showing that pin touching the edge of that shaft, right? Now I got to move that in 1.250. That's the radius. All right? Can you see it? Now one pivot point's over the other pivot point. See that spear? Here's the cutting tool. I'm going to rotate that cutting tool to show you it will follow. Now I'm going to turn, let's assume the shaft is rotating and everything is ready to go, okay? I'm going to, oh, you piece of shit. Hang on, guy. Okay, here we go. I'm going to rotate that. See it? Let me go down a little. See how it follows it? That's the cutting edge. See it? All right, now, how did I get this table in the middle of that? There's two, you got to do it two ways. You got to touch off from this side and get that pivot point in the same place. You got to touch off from this side and get that pivot point there so that you end up, right? Let me touch off on this side. I'm being redundant, but let's do it. You see this center line or this edge right on the OD of that shaft. Now you got to go in 1.250. That's the radius. Let me do this. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to rotate this sucker. See it? Both, one pivot point is over the other. The pivot point is the key, okay? I'm going to rotate this cutting edge, which is the same as that, 90 degrees, all right? I'm going to do it in 15-degree increments. So it ends up. Okay, let her rip. See it? See it following? You can do this with indicators, a DRO. It's like touching off with an edge finder. The key is to put your cutting tool in the right position, right? On it. You know where it is from the center. Got to be exact, and you got to know how to touch off and position it. All right, now let me go a little further here. I don't know if this makes any sense. All right, that's a rotating split pin. I'm showing it here. That's about looking at it from the top. You can rotate it. You can turn. You can have it this way. Then you can turn the pin 90 degrees, like here, and touch off. All right. That's basically my interpretation of what you're doing. Will it help? I don't know. If you need more help, if you want me to clarify something here, get back to me. All right.